Happy Patriots Day to you folks. If you're not able to make it over here to Pioneer Valley Regional High School baseball field, Tyler Warble, Lou Bordeaux here bringing you the play-by-play action of this Turner's Blue Thunder, hosted by your Pioneer Panthers. Lou, thank you so much for being out here in not the kind of weather you would expect for spring break.
Well, what are you going to do, Tyler? Hello to you and good afternoon, everybody. Panthers are back at home after a 3-game road trip. They did get their first W of the season last Wednesday over in Athol. Tough one on Saturday at Oakmont, but today taking on the Thunder of Turners Falls. Both clubs with 1 win on the season. Evan Tippenyuk going to be the starting pitcher today for Pioneer. He'll be joined on defense by Tad Loud behind the plate. Around the horn in the infield, Carter Gary at first, Aaron Muse at second, Brody Welcome at short, Jacoby Stumpo over at third base. Left to right in the outfield, Mauricio Hinono over in left, Hayden Gerard in center field, and Tommy Clary in right field. Looks to be a good one today. There you get a good look at E.T. working on his last warm-up throw. Ball goes out to the infield. We're going to see Porter Dubo, Jackson Cogswell, and Kanan Stevens. Top 3 batters for Turners Falls. Got a few snowflakes coming on. Hard to believe it was 80 degrees last week, Tyler.
Yeah, this is, I didn't know spring break meant a break from spring. You know, I thought we were getting some good weather.
Well, I think that's exactly what we got here. And first pitch of the day, strike one. Can tell it's a little brisk. Home plate umpire wearing his gloves. Seems just about everybody's in long sleeves under their game jerseys today.
Myself included.
For sure. Popped out to right field. Just gets past.
Nope. And
Tommy.
Ooh.
Gets it in.
It's definitely a tall order for Clary to try and get underneath that. But I think an interesting choice sliding the way he did. I think, you know, he positioned himself in a decent way to be able to, in the event that he missed it, to be able to get up faster if he were to go head first, Ricky Henderson style.
Yeah, he did have a good recovery right there. This is Jackson Cogswell. Weather app says temperature at game time is a balmy 45 degrees. Light breeze, 7 miles an hour from the west-northwest. I might take issue with those numbers, but runner going. Slid right into the tag. Nice throw by Tad Loud. Good tag by Stumpo over at third base, and that erases the Thunder's threat. Big out.
You know, it's really interesting what we're seeing this game. And I'll talk about that in a moment.
And Carter Gary takes it unassisted. For the second out of the inning, here comes the catcher, Kanan Stevens.
You know, I feel like this game, BNC TV's only covered 2 games so far this season, but we're seeing a lot of different faces in different positions. And, you know, that can be both a good and difficult thing. I mean, on the low end, you look at it like, you know, Coach Leopold hasn't found, you know, the right positions for all of his players, but he's also feels confident enough to move some people around and experiment. And, you know, I think that's really exciting to see. That means, you know, he's looking to see what is exactly the right fit instead of, you know, trying to stick with something that might not be working as good. He might think, well, I really need our boy Hayden Gerard in control of things out in center field again. And, you know, that's where we're seeing him after playing shortstop, I think, the past couple of games that we've covered.
Yeah, it's good to see the flexibility that Coach Leopold has. You know, really trying to put the winning combination together. Both these teams come into the game with just one win on the season, as I said before. Nice pitch by E.T. Count is 3 balls, 2 strikes on Kanan Stevens.
I think the umpire should be required to wear identifying gloves, like some sort of neon.
Yeah, safety orange maybe. Pop up. And Brody Welcome gets underneath it, puts it away. That's going to retire the side. Other than that one runner who was caught stealing, no base runners for Turners in the top of the first. And after a half inning, Turners nothing, Pioneer coming to bat. You're watching Panther Baseball right here on BNC TV.
Welcome back.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. It's the bottom of the first inning. That's Tad Loud at the plate. Tad's the Pioneer catcher today. Pitching for Turners, Julian Kaiser. Kaiser looks in for the sign. Tad's going to be followed by Hayden Gerard here in the bottom of the first. A big lollipop curve, just missed. And Evan Tipeniuk will be the third batter for the Panthers here in the bottom of the first inning. It's in left field. It's a fair ball. And the Panthers have their first runner of the day on base. Tad Loud with a crisp single into left field.
Kind of lost that ball after it made it past the grass in the infield, it must have been right along the third baseline.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tyler. It had to be very close over there. I was trying to look over the monitor and get a good bead on it, but didn't catch up to it until the left fielder flagged it down. Tad getting very lucky there.
Looked like he had a little bit of a, I don't know how you'd call it, that kind of cartoonish stumble run that you kind of get wind up spinning your wheels.
I can almost hear Fred Flintstone's feet going. But yeah, he got caught way off base, and the only thing that saved him was the throw from the catcher was just up high to Tyler Newton at first base. Yeah, we have our first foul ball of the day into Souvenir Country. Looks like the count's 2-1. Fouled at home plate. Count's going to go to 2-2. Two strikes on Hodis. That's going to take the bunt off. Another foul ball back to the backstop. Kaiser's got a little deceptive move towards home plate. And of course, that's going to keep Tad Loud on his toes over at first base for Pioneer. Especially having been caught in that little stumbling moment a little while ago.
I was going to say, I noticed a little glove pump just before the...
Yep. And that one's up high. Looks like a full count to me. Low and inside. No, I guess it was 2-2. Now it's a full count.
Apologize. I mean, what would a BNC TV broadcast without an inaccurate count? Full count now for Hayden Girard.
Oh, just got the outside corner. Great location by Kaiser there.
That's tough because it looked like Hodis on a number of pitches was really feeling the need to protect that outside. You saw him kind of reaching on a couple of those foul balls.
And with one down, here's Evan Tippanyuk pitching today for Pioneer. There goes Loud. He's got second stolen. Throw was way off to the first base side of the bag. A little bit of aggressive base running by the Panthers there. But again, as we were talking about in between innings, Tyler, early in the season, and we are still in the first, just past the quarter mark. Teams are going to be trying to test other teams' catchers, see what they have out there. Although Kanan Stevens has been playing for Turners for some time. Kaiser looks the runner back. Ball gets away from Stevens, bounced straight up in the air, but Loud stays there. Wasn't sure of the location of it. And better be safe than sorry.
And I'll fix the count as soon as I see whether or not that first pitch was a strike or a ball. The one that Tad Loud stole from.
We don't have any of our usual spotters here today, Tyler, so we'll put it on them instead of us.
It's those black gloves.
Whew, man. As long as we're talking about umpires, sometimes you can hear the umpire. And we're back on our home scaffold out here in right field at the baseball diamond at Pioneer. So if you're ever out to a game, please come out and say hello. But some umpires you can hear. Rip foul down the left field line. But I can't hear this umpire and I can't see his hands, so we're in one now, Tyler.
Well, hey, yeah, I think we were talking. Gotta have that. I think we're gonna have to change some of the bylaws that umpires, if they're wearing gloves, they gotta be some sort of Mickey Mouse-esque, very bold-looking gloves.
Yeah, I'm all for the neon. I like that idea. Pounded into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Loud advances to third. He's safe. Panthers with runners at the corners with one out. Nice single by Evan Tipeniuk.
Good awareness by Tad Loud as well. He knew that ball heading right towards third base, he had to hesitate and make sure that ball made its way out to the outfield and had enough space for him to safely advance over to third base. So nice job base running by Tad Loud.
And they always say it's very difficult to run when the ball's in front of you. So a lot of times a runner on second base is just going to let that one go and maintain his position at second. But Tad had a good feel for the speed that the ball got to the outfield and sets up runners on the corners now. Here's Brody Welcome. Brody's a shortstop today for Pioneer. He takes a first strike. Curveball just missed outside. 1-1. Aaron Muse on deck for Pioneer. Slow roller foul down left side. 1-2 on Welcome.
And with Kaiser being a left-handed pitcher, a little more obligation on the first base runner to have a little more kind of shenanigans to distract the peripherals.
And ET takes off. It's a fair ball. Everybody's safe. Tad Loud held his position over at third base. Panthers have the bases loaded with just one out. Infield single for Brody Welcome. Kind of an excuse-me topper. And there you see Brody as we pan back. ET standing behind the bag. Kind of an unusual spot for him.
To be honest, before I tracked him down with the camera standing back that far, I thought maybe he kind of ran off the field to do a pinch runner or something.
Same. I was looking over and the umpire was lined up with the Turner's shortstop. Kaiser drops that one in. It's 1-1. Yeah, I couldn't see him either, and then I just happened to look out and he's just in a deep position out there. I don't quite understand that, but nobody's there to hold him on. Infield in for the Thunder. Going to look to make a play at the plate. 1-2 on Aaron. Playing second base today for Pioneer. And strike three.
Oh, excuse me.
Kaiser took a little bit off of that one. Change up. Got two outs. Infield will go back to their regular depth. And that brings up left fielder Mauricio Hanono. Am I getting that pronunciation right, Tyler?
You are spot on, Mauricio Hanono.
All right.
Normally we'd be seeing him behind the plate, but as I was talking about earlier, Coach Leopold having the luxury of being able to experiment with such a fresh roster of players and see who fits where. I mean, more frequently, we probably would have seen either Evan Tipeniuk if he wasn't pitching on first, and then even if he's pitching, there's a good shot that
ball down right field line. It's out of play.
There's a good shot that O.C. Ballard might be taking first base, but seeing Carter Gary there, it's really interesting to just see the experimentation of different positions and finding out what works.
Early in the season, it's good to see the flexibility of the student athletes on the Pioneer roster. Into center field. That one drops.
Sorry, I got so excited.
2 runs are in. Ball gets thrown around. Welcome advances to third, and Mauricio to second. Panthers take a 2-0 lead.
Wonderful clutch double by Mauricio Nono.
And the Panthers' first 2 home scoring plays of the season.
Mauricio and his family moved up here from Florida, and I guess, I got to say now, I think we'll keep him. He's been a great addition to the team.
Absolutely. This is Carter Gary, the first baseman. Oh, and that one hit him. Going to load the bases back up. Third baseman Jacoby Stumpo steps in, looking to make the magic happen. Bases loaded with 2 out. Popped straight up. Kaiser puts it away, and that's going to retire the side. For the Panthers in the first inning, 2 big runs on 4 base hits, 3 runners left. 1 inning in the books here in Northfield. Pioneer leads this one 2-0. Don't go anywhere. Please check out our sponsors. We'll be back in a moment right here on BNC TV. Time for the top of the second inning. It's Evan Tipeniuk on the mound for the Panthers. Has 2 runs in his back pocket. At the plate is his counterpart, Julian Kaiser, pitcher for Turners. Kaiser fouls it out of play down the right side. And a little kid chasing after it.
It's always kind of my favorite thing about, these local games is the kids' desire to help out like that.
It's a nice pickup by Welcome at short, but throw gets past Carter Gary, so it's going to be a two-base error. Kaiser onto second. Yeah, it is, Tyler. Always good to see the youngsters chasing after foul balls. I read that the Los Angeles Dodgers this season, an average night at the ballpark, Dodger Stadium, is going to cost a family of four $450. Lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Kaiser holds up over at third. Turner's threatening here in the top of the second. Yeah, for a family of four to go to a game at Dodger Stadium, just to walk in the building, it's almost $500.
Oof.
So when you think about high ticket prices, out of control salaries, and you're able to check out high school and college baseball, at the local level, nothing beats it. And Liam Caravan takes second. Throw went down to third, hoping to catch Kaiser off guard. Didn't do that, so now Turner's with runners on second and third. This is Tyler Newton, the first baseman. We had him called Tyler. The Mass Live calls him Ryan. So, in any event, number 10's at bat. Playing first base today, fouls one back. Big bounce. Just missed.
Didn't hear a clunk. Everyone's car is safe.
And that's why I said we got the big bounce, because after that first bounce, Tyler, anything can happen. Batter's got at least 2 strikes on him as he fouls it back again. I guess you can't have any more than 2 strikes. And that one bounced into the tree over there. So we definitely have 2 strikes on the batter. And that's all I can tell you. Stumpo knocked it down, fielded, threw into Tad Loud a little bit too late. Turner's on the board, makes it 2-1. Caravan advances to third base. And Tyler Newton. Over at first, runners at the corners. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Conference at the mound. No doubt Coach Leopold just suggesting to his infielders to take a breath, get their fundamentals straight, and they'll be in good shape. This is Nate Trike. Nate is the third baseman for Turners. He's got runners at the corners with nobody out. Runner at third caught in a pickle. ET makes the tag.
Good rundown by the Panthers.
So that started when Brody Welcome took the throw from Tad Loud, threw it right back into Tad, who started the rundown. So if you're scoring at home, let's go 6, 2, 5, 1 for the putout. And that's a big out, getting that runner off of third base.
So for a pickle, every position that's involved in the pickle gets included in the whole out system?
Yeah, for sure. Now, what we did not notice was the runner who was on first advanced to third. He scores on that base hit, and we've got a tie ball game. Nate Trike with that big single out to left field. So after digging a 2-run hole, Turner's has come right back to tie this ball game up. This is second baseman Curtis Kretschmar. Couldn't lay off the high hard one there. Curtis is a senior. Plays second base and some outfield for the Thunder. That one just missed. Counts 1-1. On deck is right fielder Brody Gerard. Breaking ball just misses outside, 2-1. Sun has broken through the clouds here in Northfield. I think this may be the most unpredictable place for weather in the entire Commonwealth, Tyler.
Absolutely. It's just the amount of meteorological potpourri that we experience every day.
That is certainly one way to put it. There you get a good look at Nate Trike leading off first base. Looked like Carter Gary wasn't ready to receive that throw from Tad Loud. Carter hit by a pitch when he's at bat, hit by a ball coming from his own catcher. Gonna have to get some goalie equipment on him. Coach Leupold comes out to check on him. Might have taken that one up in the melon.
Good sportsmanship for the first base coach, recognizing the ball hitting him and not trying to kind of, take advantage of the situation and steal.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that camaraderie. There we go.
He did not get cheated on that swing. And strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. Brings up Brody Gerard. And, you talk about the camaraderie, Tyler. Let's not forget these two teams are going to be on the same bus riding out to Cooperstown, New York later this season. Big game out there, the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Definitely looking forward to that.
And as we're figuring out details, barring any unforeseen developments, BNC TV is hoping to make our way out there to cover the game.
Well, Tyler, if you're there, I'm going to be there.
I appreciate it, Lou. Checked with all the red tape and got the green light on all of them. So the only thing that could stop us from bringing this game back to the area for you folks to watch is if the weather doesn't cooperate or any discoverable Wi-Fi doesn't cooperate.
Looked like a foul tip into the mitt for strike 3. Runner ran, however, but that is going to retire the side. Turners comes up with 2 runs on 3 base hits. They had 1 runner left. We've got an inning and a half in the books here in Northfield, where the Clouds are coming back again. This one's tied 2-2. Please check out our sponsors and don't go anywhere. More Panther baseball in a moment, right here on BNC TV. Tommy Clary getting things started for Pioneer here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We got a 2-2 ball game. Looks like this one's going to be a barn burner today here in Northfield. Clary faked the bunt, pulled the bat back. Kaiser's pitch dropped in for strike 1. Clary does drop the bunt. Nicely fielded over there by Trike at third base. Makes the throw all the way across the diamond just to get Tommy. Had a good idea trying to drop that bunt down. That's going to be 1 away. Brings up Tad Loud, the catcher. Tad singled and scored in the 1st inning. Helped set the table by stealing 2nd. That one's low in the dirt. Nice backhanded pickup by Stevens behind the plate. While we have a minute, just want to say thank you to the many students who helped BNC TV out with the construction of our new center field area for the camera that you see out there. That one hit Loud in the foot. He's going to get first base. So, yes, thank you to, I don't know, how many students did we have, Tyler? I lost count.
Well, it was an entire class. Just a special thank you to Joshua Friend, the woodshop teacher. Had some students help out with the project of putting that hunting tower together and kind of getting the pieces out and getting it started.
Hayden Gerard swings at the first pitch, line drive out to center field. He's out. Saw that one up around his eyes and couldn't lay off it. 2 outs. Here's E.T. Evan Tippanyuk. So I'm referred to on Facebook the other day as Evo, so I'm not sure if we should call him E.T. anymore or if it's Evo now, Tyler.
Well, all I know is that the device that's mixing our two headsets is also called that.
Ah, look at that. I guess that makes us mixed up. Evan singled and scored in the first inning. We got 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Nice stolen base there by Tad, much like he did last inning. Always risky to steal with 2 outs, but he had his timing down pat on that one. Guys will look the runner back. Came in, found that inside corner. I think it's 1-2.
Impossible to see his fingers with those black gloves.
Count holds at 1-2. Brody Welcome is on deck for Pioneer. It looked like the umpire signaled safe. So E.T. swung and missed at strike 3. Ball got away from the catcher. Ran down to first. Looked like the umpire signaled safe, but then called him out. So we're going to have to go with that because the team's Turner's coming off the field. Pioneer getting ready to come back out. So no runs in the bottom of the second for Pioneer after 2 complete. This one's tied 2-2. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Panther baseball in a moment, right here on BNC TV and worldwide on YouTube. All right, snowflakes are back here in Northfield in case you're not with us live at the game today. Pretty good choice to be watching this from your couch in the living room.
Nice warm couch.
Woo-wee.
Apologize, followed the wrong player. Caught by Muse.
Yeah, it was a
second
infield pop-up. Aaron puts that one away. That was Porter Dubo, left fielder. And the wind has picked up again, surprisingly, here in Northfield. Brings up Jackson Cogswell, senior center fielder. Grounded out to Carter Gary in the first inning. chopped at that one, and it just drops behind the Panther bench, 0-1. Snow a little more intense this time, Tyler.
Not liking it.
I think we should have done those road games last week when it was in the 80s.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy moly.
Wind kind of changing direction from what it was in the beginning.
You are correct, sir.
It was, I think it was blowing towards the, right field line for a while, but now it seems to be coming at us from the back.
Yep, definitely blowing in from right field. So if I've got my compass out, I'm going to say that it's coming from the north.
That's going to slow any fly balls down a bit.
Welcome's got it. Another one gets past Carter Gary at first. Another two-base error, and Jackson Cogswell takes second base. Throw is in the dirt. Brings up the catcher, Kanan Stevens. Kanan popped out to Brody Welcome in the first inning. That one misses up high, ball one. We've got one out here in the top of the third inning. Back and forth game so far. Another one just misses up high. Home plate umpire removes the gloves. Good man, 2-0. Appreciate that. 2-0 pitch hit out to center field. Gerard under it. And the 441 passing us here in Northfield. Snow is downright intensified now. It's going to bring up pitcher Julian Kaiser.
And I got to say, if this snow keeps up like this, I'm going to have to start, pulling out my Popeye repertoire. That's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
And stolen base. Cogswell steals third. Things are getting out of control in a hurry here, Tyler. I know you're doing the best you can.
Apologize for some of the graphics. Trying to find opportunities to protect some of the equipment.
And runners out at first base. That's going to retire the side.
So I was behind on a full out. All right.
Yeah, I got the phone out. I'm trying to capture some of this April snowstorm here on Patriots Day. Nothing going on for Turners in that third inning. In the middle of the third, this one's tied 2-2. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Panther baseball and skiing coverage coming up on BNC TV. Hey folks, welcome back. Game went on while we were on break, but we had a little weather delay of our own. Wicked snow squall started to abuse the equipment here, and the best executive producer in the business, Tyler Borbeau, and we thank Sam Browning Jr. Trucking. Tyler thought it was important to save the equipment. There's a base hit. I'll catch you up on what you've been missing. Inning started with Brody Welcome getting a base hit. He advanced to second when Aaron Muse grounded out to the pitcher, Julian Kaiser. That was just Mauricio at the plate. He singled into center field, and now, with one out, we've got runners on the corners. Score is still tied 2-2. And we've got a pinch hitter for Carter.
It's got to be O.C. Ballard.
Yes, it is.
Mauricio takes second base.
Uncontested. Panthers threatening. Breaking ball just catches the inside corner. And we certainly hope Carter Gary's okay. He got hit by a pitch, and then he got that throw. Looked like it hit him in the head. Not 100% sure on that, but certainly for precautionary measures, take him out of the lineup. That one's inside to OC. Count goes to 2-1.
Catcher really had to reach for that one. Nice job keeping the ball in front of him, especially with a runner on third. You do not want that ball getting past you and breaking up this tie we've had for a few innings.
Snow still coming down here in Northfield, not as intense as it was about 10 minutes ago. OC pounds it into the ground. Shortstop's got it. Throws wide, runner gets tagged at first. Run scores for the Panthers. They jump back in front 3-2.
Worthy sacrifice.
Yeah, Mauricio held his position because Caravan for Turners had the ball literally right in front of him. Playing it safe. So 2 outs, runner on second base. Here is Jacoby Stumpo. Jacoby popped out to the pitcher in the first inning. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Oh and 2. Dropped in for strike 3 call. That's going to retire the side. Panthers have 1 run on 2 base hits. 1 runner left after 3 complete. Pioneer leads this one 3-2. Stay with us. Check out our sponsors. We'll be back in a moment with more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV. Time for top of the fourth inning. Are we live, sir?
We are live.
Ah, fantastic.
I apologize.
Fantastic. I thought we were, and then I wasn't sure of it.
No, checking on a lot of the equipment. I do think I'm petrified to say that the snow has subsided.
Oh, what did you say that for?
Yeah,
My
I did say it without
goodness.
saying it.
Oh, boy.
Well, we'll see.
This is shortstop Liam Caravan at bat for Turners, and the home plate umpire put his gloves back on. That's rather unfortunate. We do have 2 strikes on the batter. Breaking ball just misses outside. Same location. Caravan singled back in the second inning. Called strike 3. Great pitch by E.T. That's Evans' 3rd strikeout of the day. And according to Turner's coaching staff, this is Tyler Newton. According to Mass Live, it's Ryan Newton. Lofts one out, drops right in front of Tommy Clary. It's going to be a base hit. Second single of the day for Newton. One out, brings up third baseman Nate Trike. Nate singled in the second inning. Tippanyuk took a little off that one, 0-1. Up high, it's 1-1. Panthers on top in this one, 3-2. We're in the top of the fourth inning. Patriots Day here in Northfield. High and away, 2-1. Congratulations to everybody who ran in the Boston Marathon today.
Especially if it was anywhere as cold out there as it is here.
Yeah, running 26 miles was never high on my list of priorities, Tyler. In fact,
in a row.
In fact, I'm not sure I've run 26 miles in my entire life. If I had, it was only because I was trying to get to the buffet table.
Must be a heck of a buffet table if it's 26 miles away and worth running to.
Oh, you betcha. Count may be 2-2.
It's either 2-2 or 3-2.
Ripped foul down the left side. We definitely got 2 strikes, that's for sure. Called strike 3. Great pitch. Second batter caught looking this inning. Brings up Curtis Kretschmar. Second baseman, he struck out back in the second. Turners has runner on first base. 2 outs. Drops the bunt. Runner beats it out. It was fielded cleanly by Stumpo over there, but...
Apologize, chased the wrong play.
Kretschmar just put the Jets on to get down to first base. It advances Newton over to second. Turner's with a mini threat here in the top of the 4th inning. Runners on first and second with 2 out. This is Brody Gerard. Brody struck out to end the 2nd inning. As you can see, he's dressed for the occasion today. That one's up high.
Evan looks like he's really hoping those pitches are going to drop in a little bit harder than they are.
He came right down Broadway with that one. It's 2-1. Well, dare I say, as cold as our hands are out here, and we've got hand warmers. You know, he's just got his pitching hand out there, and the grip on the ball might not quite be the same as count goes to 2-2.
I guess that's the tough thing as a pitcher is, you know, your grip on the ball is like the most important thing on the hill. So you can't be having gloves or any other kind of obstruction messing with your grip.
Stumpo fields it, touches third base for the force. That's going to retire the side. In the 4th inning, no runs, 2 base hits, 2 runners left. After 3.5 here in Northfield, Panthers lead 3-2. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Panther baseball coming up right here on BNC TV. We are back. Time for the bottom of the 4th inning. Tommy Clary going to get things started off for Pioneer. Pioneer leads this one 3-2.
He has one foul, at least one foul. And at least an 0-2 count now.
Drops that breaking ball in. Great pitch by Julian Kaiser. Freezes Clary in his tracks. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Back to the top of the Panther order. This is Tad Loud. Tad singled in the first, scored the Panthers' first run. Hit by a pitch in the second, and we are in the bottom of the fourth. A big breaking ball drops in. Low and inside. 1-1 on the Panther catcher. Just a bit outside. 2-1.
Now, there was a little bit of wildness on that pitch, and, you know, I wouldn't blame him between the snow earlier and how cold it is. You know, I'm surprised that ball hasn't been doing funnier things all game. So these guys have done a great job of keeping control of the ball despite the wintry squall we just had an inning ago.
You're absolutely right, Tyler. As I said last inning, that one just misses up high. Tad's going to take a walk. You know, we're out here doing what we do, barehanded, and got the hand warmers going and everything else today. And that, all the position players have the opportunity to handle the baseball, but certainly the pitchers and catchers, they don't have hand warmers out there. So more power to them. Hayden Gerard at the plate. Loud. Dives back in safely. Popped straight up. Caravan's got it. Gets the ball right back into Julian Kaiser. And with 2 outs, here is the pitcher, Evan Tipeniuk. Evan singled and scored in the first inning. Struck out and was thrown out 2-3 at first base in the second inning. Line drive foul down the left side. Somewhere beyond souvenir country over there.
Love that young kid retrieval service heading out there for that ball. No foul ball goes too far or too much into the woods for them.
I'm sure they've got a 5-gallon pail of baseballs at home. Sliced into right field. Brody Gerard's there, puts it away, and that's going to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left for Pioneer in the fourth. After 4 complete. Panthers lead 3-2. Please stay with us. Check out these sponsors that make these telecasts possible here on BNC TV. And we'll be back with more Panther baseball in a moment. are ready for the 5th inning here in Northfield. Good ball game today. Pioneer on top 3-2. Infielders rallying around Evan Tippanyuk.
Now, just got some information from right field. Tommy Clary informed me that there are no outs.
That is good to know.
And, of course, those instructions, I think, are coming straight from his outfield captain, Hodis Gerard, who used to be in right field and took his job very seriously about updating us about the number of outs.
Well, I know historically we would get them in Spanish as well.
That is true.
So we've got a new right fielder this season. He's still learning the ropes, but, maybe uno, dos, tres there for a little while. We'll get used to that. Nice strikeout there by E.T. That was Porter Dubo at the top of the order. One down brings up center fielder, senior Jackson Cogswell. Cogswell grounded out in the 1st inning. Reached on an error in the 3rd.
You mentioned just before the break checking out our sponsors, and if you've followed our instructions, never have a moment to describe things. Ball knocked right through the middle into the outfield. Easy fielding, but a solid single.
That's what we call a seeing eye base hit.
But
you were saying.
Yeah, sorry. I always feel like whenever I start to talk about it's almost as if we want some action to happen, I should start going off on a tangent about the sponsors.
Well, you should probably wait and talk when the Panthers are at bat.
That's true.
Cogswell steals second. Throw gets into center field. He's going all the way over to third base. Big hustle and making the magic happen.
Now, if I had started talking about the sponsors just then, we would have had to cut that off as well. But a runner on third with no outs.
One out. We got one out.
One out. Turner's in a very good position, even with a sacrifice fly to tie things back up.
And this is catcher Kanan Stevens at the plate.
But real quick, want to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors. Without partnering with these local businesses, we would not be able to bring you these spring sports, baseball and softball. We're talking about Sam Browning Jr. Trucking, Sweet Lucy's Bakeshop, Works LTD, The Tree Experts, Wiggin Hydroseeding, Zilinksi HVAC, DiGeorge Builders right here in Bernardston, and Greenfield Cooperative Bank.
That one's ripped into left field. Runner scores. This ball game's tied. Stand-up double for Kanan Stevens. This game is tied 3-3.
I'm glad I spat all that out as quickly as I did. But like I said, nobody else will score now that I'm done talking. But beautiful hit. I mean, that had to be the power hit of the game so far.
I would agree with you. This is the pitcher, Julian Kaiser. We are in the top of the 5th inning here on the campus of the Pioneer Valley Regional School in Northfield. That's ET's 12-6 curveball. You see Brody Welcome in behind the runner. That one's up high.
Looks like the ball's hand was behind the batter. Couldn't see it from the ump.
Defensive swing sends the foul ball over behind the Panther bench. pitch by E.T. fouled back under some cars over in the parking lot.
Better than on top of.
If anybody hits our cars, they've done well, Tyler.
It's an excellent hit if they manage to get it way out here.
Fly ball to right field. Clary's got it. Holds the runner in position at second base. Brings up shortstop Liam Caravan. Liam's 1 for 2 on the day. Singled back in the second inning, and then as he advanced over to third, he was caught in that great rundown. Panthers showing some good defense on that play. Last time up, he was caught looking. And Stevens slides in safely with the stolen base to third. Pitch was a strike on Caravan. Counts 1-2. Stumpo over to first. That's going to retire the side. Nice scoop by O.C. Ballard at first.
Apologize, I was off by the outs.
Thunder score 1 run on 2 base hits. 1 runner left. In the middle of the 5th inning, this one is tied at 3-3. We got plenty of Panther baseball left, so don't go anywhere. Please check out our sponsors, as Tyler was telling you, and we'll be back with the Panther half of the 5th inning, easy for me to say, in a moment right here on BNC TV.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Starting things off, Brody, welcome.
First pitch swinging. It's into left field for a base hit.
Gets past the left fielder, but not enough to give Brody comfortable room to move on to second. Solid single.
Brings up second baseman Aaron Muse. Aaron's 0 for 2 on the day today. Guys just throw over to first base. Welcome dives back in. You see a good camera shot, having the runner and the pitcher in the shot. Guys are found the top of the strike zone with that one. Drops the bunt. Nicely played as Kaiser came off the mound. Sacrifice works. Brody Welcome over to second base. There you see him. One out, runner on second base. Here's Mauricio Hanono.
Mauricio's had a great game so far at the bat.
I was just going to say 2 for 2 today. Another hit here would be very timely. First pitch swinging. Good play. Third baseman knocked it down. Couldn't do anything with it. Mauricio beats it out. We'll call that an infield hit. Puts runners at first and second. Still one out. O.C. Ballard's going to step in here. O.C. went in to replace Carter Gary back in the 4th inning. O.C. looked to drop a bunt. Strike one. Panthers looking to play a little small ball here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one's inside, 1-1. Ball gets away from Kaiser. I was watching Brody Welcome's lead there, and anytime that the lead gets out the right side of the screen, you know they've got a healthy lead. Any pitch that gets away from the catcher, he might be a danger to go to third. So a lot of pressure on Kane and Stevens to keep the ball in front of him behind home plate as the count goes to 2-1 on O.C. Ballard.
Yeah, this wouldn't be the first time that we've seen the Pioneer Panthers really utilizing taking leads, not necessarily to steal, but just to be a real distraction in the peripheral eyesight of the pitcher.
Same location, it's 3-1. O.C. stepped in the bucket on that one before he took his swing. It's a full count on the Panther first baseman. And that's ripped into left center field. One runner's in. Mauricio over to third base. It's an RBI single for O.C. Ballard, and the Panthers go back on top 4-3.
Nice job. You know, in my mind, I was thinking about the last time BNC TV was out here covering baseball game. It was against Greenfield, and OC just had one of the biggest Panther hits of the game. Just had a real crank out to the fence, and I think we just saw, while I was thinking about that, and then I see him hit that into the left center gap. It was just funny that it's almost like I willed it to happen. I don't want to take all the credit, but
I was just going to ask if there was some telepathy going on there, Tyler. I know you're the best executive producer in the game, but you know, you can add telepath to your resume, I think.
Well, it puts a whole nother spin on producer.
Redefines making the magic happen. This is Jacoby Stumpo. Looks to drop a bunt. Count goes to 0-2. Jacoby's 0 for 2 today. Mauricio over at third base is an insurance run for the Panthers. Stumpo takes that one high and away. It's 1-2. Low and away, 2-2. Tommy Clary's on deck for Pioneer. Just dropped in for strike 3. Really good pitch by Julian Kaiser. That's Julian's 6th strikeout of the day. Here's Tommy Clary. Panthers still with the runners on the corners. Kaiser comes right back with some heat. 0-1. Took a little off that one. Had Tommy fooled. It's 0-2. Right down Broadway. That's going to retire the side. Panthers do score 1 run on 3 base hits. They had 2 runners left on base. After 5 complete here in Northfield, Panthers lead this one 4-3. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball coming right up on BNC TV. Top of the 6th inning. Tyler Newton, first pitch swinging. It's way out there. It gets past Hodas. Throw comes in. And he's out. He didn't slide. He went in standing up. Great throw. Fielded nicely by Aaron Muse, applying the tag. Just a tough base running mistake there by Tyler Newton.
You know, that's the kind of opening play that could start a real nasty rally, kind of a dangerous inning. So Pioneer getting out of a leadoff double, you know, really kind of keeps Turners from setting the tone for the rest of the inning.
Yeah, Newton didn't have exactly a home run trot, but I think the furthest thing from his mind was being thrown out as he went into second base. If he had dug in, sped in, and slid even head first, he'd have had that bag, and we'd have a different complexion of this inning. This is Nate Trike, the third baseman. Nate's 1 for 2 on the day. Ball gets away from Tad. And to no one's surprise, the wind has picked up again here at Pioneer. A few more snowflakes. That one's low and away. 2-2, or 3-2.
I think the count's full.
Then that's what we're going with, Tyler.
Tom's got the gloves back on. Hard to tell.
That, however, is strike 3. Big strikeout by E.T. there. Brings up second baseman Curtis Kretschmar. Curtis reached on a bunt single his last time up. Squared to bunt again. That one drops in for strike 1. Confidence breeds confidence, and having dropped that successful bunt single last time up, we saw the speed out of Curtis. He's apparently not afraid to show it again. Counts 1-1. It's low in the dirt. Good block by Tad Loud behind the plate. Two and one on the Thunder second baseman. That was ripped into left field. Foul ball. Counts 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's outside, counts full. We are in the top of the 6th inning. Panthers on top 4-3. Called strike 3. That's going to retire the side. 2 big strikeouts there by Evan Tippanyuk. For Turner is in the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We're in the middle of the 6th. Panthers lead this one 4-3. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball. We're going to be right back here on BNC TV. Bottom of the 6th inning, Tad Loud's going to get things started off for the Panthers. Panthers lead this one 4-3. Takes that one inside, ball 1. Good pitch by Kaiser. It's 1-1. Tad singled back in the 1st inning, scored the first Panther run. Since then, he's been hit by a pitch, and he's taken a base on balls. Another one misses inside, 2-1. Three and one on the Panthers catcher. Nice pitch. 3-2. Misses on that one, ball 4. Tad Loud reaches for the 4th time today. Brings up center fielder Hayden Girard. Hayden with that dandy throw in to pick off Newton at second base in the top half of the 6th inning. That one's up high, throw back to first. Loud dives back in safely.
Did not see whether that was a ball or a strike before the pickoff attempt.
That was a ball.
Ball. Thank you.
I think. No, just kidding. Fouled back out of play, 1-1. I do see a little warm-up activity over in the Panther bullpen. Loud dives back in safely. Ball got away from Newton.
Well, not quite the Beatles, but here comes the snow.
Dootin' doo-doo. Popped up.
Oh, was snagged by the third baseman. Had trouble tracking him down.
It's Nate Trike put that one away. One out, Snow's back. Here's Evan Tipeniuk. Loud steals second.
Very nice job taking second. Looked like the catcher was going to make an attempt and kind of just saw the lead that he had on the steal and didn't feel like he was going to be able to get there in time. Nice job by Tad Loud.
This is up high, 2-0 on ET.
And you mentioned some warm-up on the bullpen. That is Osi Ballard getting warmed up. Which means if he does take the hill in the final inning. And
we got a balk. It's going to advance Tad over to third base. Sorry to interrupt you, Tyler.
No, that's okay. This was more important. When Tad Loud takes third. But if Osi Ballard does indeed come in to finish things off for the 7th inning, it'll probably just be a good old-fashioned 2-player switch if you're keeping tabs at home. So Evan will go to first, and Osi will go from first onto the hill.
That would certainly make sense to me, and I have no reason to think otherwise.
Well, as you say, when there's wholesale changes around the board, it takes us quite a while to track down the numbers and figure out who's now where. But it's like a little conversation near the hill. Understandably so. It's been a tight ball game the entire time. And
you get a good look at Julian Kaiser recalibrating.
I would say, depending on what he's thinking, I agree with him.
No question
with the
about
snow
that.
coming down.
Ball 4, E.T. hustles down to first.
I was way off on the count. I apologize.
Panthers have runners at the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brody Welcome stepping in. Brody is a crisp 3 for 3 today. Throw over to third base. Tad telling the base how much he enjoys being there.
He did that on the base check at first. It's a little kind of giving up the ghost action right there.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of George the Animal Steel with turnbuckles. Although from here I couldn't tell if he took a bite out of that bag or not. 1-0 on Brody. Caught the outside corner. Good pitch. Goes to 1-1. Oh, excuse me, it's 0-2. Gonna have to have a conference with these umpires, Tyler. That one's outside. Fouled away to stay alive. E.T. has made his way to second. I say that's on catcher's indifference. That one's outside. Another one fouled away to stay alive. And what do you know? The snow has intensified here in Northfield.
This is no bueno. No bueno.
And it goes outside. Count is full on Brody Welcome.
It's climbed his way out of an 0-2 count.
Going to be followed by Aaron Muse here in the Panther 6th inning. Shortstop's got it. Gets Brody at first. Another run comes across, though. Panthers take a 5-3 lead.
It's nice to have that assurance run for the first time in the game.
E.T. advances to third. Brody with the RBI. Here's Aaron Muse. This is low and inside for ball one. Aaron had a sacrifice his last time up. 0 for 2 before that. Way outside, ball gets away. Here comes ET. He's in safe. Panthers lead 6-3. Tyler, I got to tell you,
a lot of snow.
Over the years, we've had some crazy weather here at Pioneer, but I can't really remember one quite like this. Yeah, it's a strike. Caravan can't get the handle on that. Aaron's safe at first base.
It looks like we're going to have a quick pitcher change for Turners.
Coach Scott Minkler.
It's like the right fielder coming in.
Out there. And
Brody Gerard.
That does look like the change. And first baseman Newton moves out to right field. Julian Kaiser takes over at first base for the Thunder. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Panthers have pushed 2 more runs across to take a 6-3 lead. Warm-up activity has stopped over in the Panther bullpen.
Well,
It was actually. Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, I was just going to give some updates of, we got so far I guess in some ways, the BNC TV and the students have a little bit of a break this week. As far as home games, the only other game happening this week would be right back here Friday afternoon, weather permitting. The boys will be hosting Weston High. Definitely one of those kind of interesting non-league games, similar to their recent away game at Oakmont. It's just probably, I think it's one of those games where there's a relationship between the coaches and they somehow fit a non-league game into their schedule. I don't think we've seen Weston High.
No, that's one that I've not seen yet. Foul pop-up. Catcher Stevens puts it away. Brody Gerard comes in. Throws one pitch, and he's all done. That was Mauricio. Popped out to end the inning.
Well, that beats my record.
It's right. 2 more runs for the Panthers. After 6 complete, Pioneer leads this one 6-3. Do or die time for the Thunder coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We got more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV. Top of the 7th inning. From a cloudy, snowy Northfield. E.T. still on the hill for the Panthers. He's facing Brody Gerard. Brody came in relief of Julian Kaiser last inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for him. That's a pretty darn good stat line if you ask me, and I know you didn't ask me, Tyler.
I love that I don't have to. I think that's fantastic. I always appreciate the stats you're coming in with, Lou.
And we even had a George the Animal Steel reference in today's game, so you know it's a good day at the office despite the snow. Nice pitch by Evan. Count appears to be 2-2. Well, I guess the count was 3-2, Tyler.
My apologies.
It's okay. I'm lucky I have a dull pencil on my sopping wet scorecard right now. Oh, we got a pinch hitter here. This is number 14, and I don't have a number 14 on my roster.
Uh-oh.
So perhaps it's one of the Red Sox after the Patriots Day game came out here. I got no number 14, so sorry about that. Batting in place of left fielder Porter Dubo. Swing and a miss. Fly ball out to center field. Otis is there, puts it away. Nice running catch by the Panther center fielder.
Excellent job by Hayden Gerard,
a.k.a. Hodis. And with one out, this is Jackson Cogswell. He's the center fielder for Turners. Takes strike one from E.T. Jackson's 1 for 3 today. Last time up, singled and scored. Ball gets away from Loud. Gerard advances to second on the wild pitch. That one's up high, 2-1.
Well, we are looking at the meat of the batting order for Turners. So if there was ever a place to be in your batting order with, 2 outs left to tie things up or make something happen, this is where you want it to be.
That's a good point. And Brody Welcome running in for a brief word of wisdom with Evan. Yeah, following Cogswell, we've got Kanan Stevens and Julian Kaiser scheduled to hit. And just couldn't get the ball low, so that's a walk to Cogswell. Does set up a force at any bag right now with runners at first and second. There you see Brody Gerard off second base. Number 1 in the white jersey. And here is the catcher, Kanan Stevens. He takes strike 1. Kanan had a double and a run batted in at his last plate appearance. Before that, 2 fly ball outs. Foul ball down the left side. Oh and 2.
Solid hit into any of the gaps in the outfield could turn this into
called strike 3. I'm sorry, Tyler.
No, that's okay.
What a great pitch.
I'm glad this changed what I was saying. But what I was going to say was a solid hit into one of the outfield gaps could turn this into a 1-run ball game.
No, you're absolutely right.
And I guess that's still the case.
And this is Julian Kaiser. Did a really solid job on the mound for Turners today. Came out last inning. Moved over to first base. Good pitch by Tippenyuk. Popped up. Brody Welcome's under it. Puts it away. Ball game over. 4 Turners in the 7th. No runs, no base hits, 2 runners left. Final score. Pioneer takes this one 6-3. First win at home this 2026 season. And some challenging weather conditions, Tyler.
No, absolutely. Very challenging weather conditions. I would kind of say that, I'd make a point of when you look at Major League Baseball, you only have a handful of teams that are used to this kind of ridiculous weather. during their baseball season. But, all of the teams up in this area are used to this kind of nonsense. So, but that doesn't make it any less difficult. But so far, and as I mentioned earlier on in the game, both pitchers, managed to handle the little bit of wetness and the cold fairly well on their pitching. Didn't see the ball really getting away from them. So, both of them did a fantastic job, and both sides, their bats were working. They were making things happen. And, win or lose, this is the kind of ball game that I enjoy. I like winning, but I also enjoy a really tight, exciting ball game where, it goes until the last inning, and it's really not anybody's game early on.
Yeah, this was a really well-played, well-contested high school baseball game. It's the magic about baseball is one team wins, one team loses. So this time Pioneer comes out on top. Evan Tipeniuk going the distance for the Panthers with the big 6-3 victory today. Up next for the Panthers, road trip over to the Franklin County Tech School on Wednesday to take on the Eagles. And as Tyler mentioned earlier, the Panthers will be returning home on Friday. It's a special noontime game. Don't forget it's school vacation week. So special noontime game on Friday. And we certainly hope you can come out here to the Baseball Diamond at Northfield and be a part of Pioneer Panther baseball with us.
Well, my hope for that day is contrary to today. Both the sun and the warmth will be at its zenith during that game. So I'm excited for that.
I'm going to say Menta, and I'm going to use my out loud voice, so it's probably going to jinx us, that we couldn't possibly have another day like this. And now I said it, so
we'll see.
If we get snow on Friday, I'm fully responsible for it.
I won't hold it against you, Lou, because you'll probably be out here suffering in it with me.
Well, and I know at some point in the schedule we'll be out here in polo shirts and shorts, so we're going to get there.
Oh, it will.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Pioneer Athletics right here on BNC TV. Please check out our sponsors, patronize them when you can. And for the time being, for the best executive producer in the game, Tyler Borbo, I am Lou Bordeaux, thanking you for your time this time. And until next time, so long from Northfield.